comments for the choir?
Sure, I always have a comment. I always have comments.
This is Dave Hosbach.
Hi. Good to meet everybody. In general, as you sit in the congregation, you'll find that it will be very comfortable to listen now from wherever you sit, whether in the front, in the back, transepts, wherever. It won't make a difference. When I first met with the committee way back in April, I used a fictional character, Aunt Tilly. It just sort of rolled out one time and it kind of stuck. But every congregation has Aunt Tilly, who sits where she sits, and if it sounds good, it's good, and if it's not, she complains. If I've done my job right, then it's not going to matter where Aunt Tilly sits. She's going to be happy because she'll be able to hear and hear clearly. So I think after a couple of days of testing in here, I think you'll find that it will be very pleasing for Aunt Tilly and anybody else that cares to sit in the congregation. What we're here to do tonight is we want to get a kind of a reading on what's going on with these choir mics that we've got installed. We're not in the business here of turning you into a rock and roll choir, unless you want to be. But there's two purposes for the microphones. One primarily is to record, so that when you sing, your song gets picked up in a balanced way for recording. So whether the audio is going to your website or to shut-ins or wherever it's going, it's good and clear and people can understand what you're singing. The second purpose is that even though you might normally not need it, if at some point you do need a little lift to get sound out, especially to the back and the sides of the church, we've got it available. They're high enough in the air so that they don't pick up individual voices so much. Okay, we want to create a blend, and with the microphones, as high as they are in the air, we help take care of that. But we've also got more microphones than what you might normally see in front of a group, so that we pick up the balance of the choir, so that we're not picking up more of Dory's section than of another section, and that kind of thing. Again, we want to create a balance, so that if somebody's listening to a recording, or if somebody's listening out there, that it's all good and balanced. So what your job is tonight is to just sing, and we're going to do a little bit of playing around out here, making some adjustments and making sure that whenever those microphones do get turned on, that they do what they're supposed to do. So again, thanks for letting me play along, and enjoy. You definitely don't need a piano mic. The Grand is going to project real nicely. Go over to transept. Watch me. This is up, this is off. Jeff, can you start that song again?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that is a Yamaha Grand.
Yeah.
They project well, and because it projects well, it's projecting into the chancel a bit, and
So we're getting a little bit of
we're getting a little lift of the piano as well. Is when we turn the mics on, it's real subtle.
Okay.
It's like, okay, there's a little lift here.
Okay.
But it's not like, oh, all of a sudden the mics are on.
Right.
You know, it's real subtle. It just sort of sounds bigger. Jeff, mics are off. Mics are off right now. No, they're on.
You gonna trim just low end or?
Yeah, not low end. It's more like in the
Low mids?
like in the 100, 100, like the 100 to 200 range.
Okay. You on?
Yep.
So, yeah.
I need to get in there. Thank you so much, Briar, for coming.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you very much. It's very helpful. And Jeff, I think you'll be able to, just however you want to do it. If you want to provide that little bit of lift, you can provide a little bit of lift or whatever. So.
Right. Great.
As you're wrapping up and heading off to a meeting, what did you think what you heard?
I was very impressed. It's very subtle, and in the back of the church, you never really had that presence before. So hopefully the people that sit in the back will be happy about it.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Charlie.
You were in the back. You heard it. What did the sound feel like to you, sound like to you?
Very rich and very
Experience.
full. Because acoustics was one of the things we had in mind when we did this. And this has really changed the acoustics.
Oh, it sounded beautiful.
The acoustics with the choir.
Sounded great.
It just is very noticeable. The differences there. So it was great.
What a great job they did. We got everything we asked for and more.
The look, the sound, tell me about that.
Oh, it was fabulous. The sound was incredible. I couldn't believe it. Night and day. It was just great.
When the choir walked in and they turned around, just being hit by that sound was really something. That was, it was little changes made a huge difference in the sound. It was beautiful.
It was wonderful, and I think the whole choir is so pleased with how it came out, the acoustics, the sight lines, the lighting, so we are just very pleased.
The sound was outstanding. I could really hear the choir in a way I couldn't before. There's a brightness to it that I really like and an openness to the space. So it's familiar and comfortable while at the same time being new and fresh and there's sort of an openness of spirit.
I also like the sound system. I looked up at those beautiful JBL speakers and I recognized some real serious effort in the sound system there.
Serious effort, absolutely. And it sounded good to you.
It did. The sound was very clear, just picture perfect sound and real sharp. It was natural. It just sounded like they were right there next to you.
I was particularly pleased with the sound. It was so nice to sing and hear the choir singing too, which I thought was a nice addition.
So tell me, you've done your first service back in the sanctuary. What did you think?
It was marvelous, a wonderful morning. I can't express it actually, but so many good players were here. It was a wonderful thing.
It's interesting to me to hear the level of the buzz after the service because people are really jazzed up about it.
Well, it did sound or feel a bit like an Easter morning, as our closing hymn suggested.
It did. Go and enjoy the folks in here.
Thanks, Charlie.
Thank you.